G'day guys, Joel Nick here from the Bulldog Fanatic YouTube channel, and in today's video this is part 2 of my mid-season review. So hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you've watched part 1 already, or if you haven't watched it, go watch part 1. And here's part 2. Enjoy.
In terms of who's been our best player this year, it's easily Marcus Bonapelli. He is only one of 8 players to play every game so far this year, and he's been amazing. And it's just a joy to keep watching him, even though he's 30 years old now. He's still playing some of the best footy he's ever played, and considering he hyperextended his knee and was playing on one leg for probably a good month throughout the middle of the year, he's still been fantastic. He's kicking goals, he's having the best goal kicking season of his career from a scoring and an accuracy point of view, which is awesome to see. He's finding the footy as well as he's ever had, both on the inside and the outside. His tackling's pretty good as well. His ball use has been as standard as usual, fantastic with that beautiful left boot, and he's just been courageous and heroic in efforts that we really need to, because so many of our soldiers have gone down around him in both the midfield and just across the team in general, but he's just been the one constant, and there's probably only been 2 or 3 games where he's played poorly out of the 15, so more often than not, Bont has played a good to great game this year, and he's well in contention to possibly win the Brownlow and the AFL Coach Association Award. At this point, I would say he's runner-up in both compared to Nick Dacos from Collingwood, but Pont's having another year, and barring injury or he becomes the worst player ever in the second half of the year, he's a lock to get his 8th All-Australian and his 7th Charles Sutton medal. Just what a player, and what another great year he's having. And it's a big reason why I'm still happy to watch this club, because Pont's playing every week. And without him playing, I don't think I'd be the fan I am now, supporting this club for another topsy-turvy year. Other players I want to mention is the revelation and just the surprise of Michael Selwood. Drafted in the mid-season draft last year, played in Footscray's premiership campaign last year, and he's not missed the game since debuting this year. He's been fantastic, and he's been the player that he's the archetype player I've been wanting at the club for years. An intercepting defender that can play on talls or smalls, He's just so courageous. He's got that dog in him. He's not ready to back down, as we saw against Hawthorn a few weeks ago. He's just been so fun to watch. And his ball use is a bit scratchy, by foot. But that's okay. He intercepts well both in the air and on the ground, and he can tackle really well. So Michael Selwood has been fantastic this year, and he'd be up there in our best and fairest, due to the consistency and the fact he has not missed a game this year. Ed Richards has had another good year. Probably not to the levels of last year. He's had probably more down games, Ed Richards, than last year, but his highs are still very high, and he's been obviously a very good running mate for Bont once again this year, so he's been very good, Ed Richards. He's still a chance, I reckon, to get his 2nd All-Australian this year, and I would say he's on the podium of the best and fairest. Aaron Norton has kicked 34 goals this year and is in the top 10 of the Coleman. And he's been very, very good this year. He's been one of the more underrated forwards, in my opinion, considering he's had to shoulder the forward line for a lot of the year on his own. So I think he's just been really consistent, and doing great Aaron Norton things, taking good marks in the air, creating second and third efforts with his tackling and pressure, and just being really accurate with his goal kicking once again this year, which is good to see. And he has kicked a goal in at least one game this year. He's only one of 3 or 4 players have kicked a goal in every single game they've played this year, in all 15 games they've played. So yeah, very good from some of the boys. It's also nice to see the emergence of Riley Sanders. He's absolutely improved big time with his ball use, and his more willingness to kick, and he's getting more midfield opportunities, which is good to see. Probably a lot out of necessity due to the amount of injuries we've had in that area, but it's nice to see Riley Sanders being improving and playing very consistent and having more of an impact with his disposals, which is very nice to see. Some players have had an interesting type of year. Joel Fraser and Riley West, they have played every game. They've played all 15 games, both of them. They've been quite inconsistent and probably haven't reached the highs of last year, which were very high for both of them. So it has been slightly underwhelming for both of them, but I think they'll have a big second half of the year, and it has helped they've played every game. So I can't say they've been a negative for us. It's just been a bit indifferent for them. But they are very good players, and I think they'll have very good second half of the years, Joel Fraser and Riley West. It's not to say they've had their moments. They've had some great moments with clutch goals and clutch tackles and clutch moments. I mean, Joel Fraser, for example, is up there in the league for goal assist. He's, I think, number 1 for the Bulldogs in goal assist. So he is setting up goals quite well, Joel Fraser. It's just a lot of aspects of the game that he's not doing as well compared to last year. It also doesn't help that he plays a mixture of roles every week, so that's probably not helping him. And he is still, 21 years old, 21 years old. It's nice to see guys who signed 1-year deals last year and it was almost like last chance at the club had really good years, and that is Nick Caulfield, Oscar Baker, and Arthur Jones. They've all been fantastic for patches of the game. Nick Caulfield's finally nice to see his body be healthy for a consistent run of games, and he's just really good, helping the defence, supporting Buku Kamas and James O'Donnell in there, and just being really good on locking down on some forwards, taking intercept marks and, doing good defensive stuff. Again, his ball use is a little suspect, but it's nice to see Nick Caulfield, play a consistent amount of games because he's a solid defender when he is healthy and in the side. Arthur Jones, God, he is so flashy. The flair. Whenever he goes near the footy, something exciting happens with that man. Something's going to happen in a good or a bad way, His goal sense is fantastic. And it's finally nice to see Artie string some games together because he's been a tease at the club for a few years, but he's really showing the talent that he is, and he's helped fill the void, of a disappointing Riley West and Cody Waitman not playing most of this year. So Artie has been fantastic, really, really good, and I hope he stays. Because there are rumours, well, not rumours, West Coast do want him, but the Dogs have put out a 3-year deal for him, but still yet to put pen to paper yet. I'll be very disappointed if we lost him. And Oscar Baker. Well, for the first 8 or 9 weeks of the year, he was really good along the wing. His run and carry and just his energy and hustle. He doesn't get a lot of the footy, but he makes the most of it when he gets it. And that match-winning goal against the Crows at the Adelaide Oval was so unexpected, but so amazing, and probably my favourite moment of the year. If I had to pick out one moment for the year, that's it. Because it's just a play you don't expect, and it's an awesome goal from the pocket at the Adelaide Oval in enemy territory, leaving to the last quarter to win the game. Amazing moment. An awesome goal, and what a cult figure he is, Oscar Baker. Tim English. Oh boy, I have not realised how important Tim English is when he doesn't play, because when he went down with that knee injury against Essendon, I was like, I knew it wasn't great, but I didn't think it'd be catastrophic, and it turned out to be really catastrophic, because my God, with these new ruck rules, and a lot of teams playing 2 rucks, like 2 legitimate rucks, it proved very costly. No offense to Louis Emmett and Lockie Smith, who came in while Tim English was injured. They're just not the answers, unfortunately. Like, Tim English is probably our most important player, because what he does, these new ruck rules suit him, and what he does, what he does in a centre bounce and what he does around the ground, it's just really important, especially for the midfield. And the way we structure up, defensively, he can get back defensively and take intercept marks. We can go forward and take marks and kick goals. Like, he's just, the importance to English has just gone up another level this year, and we've really missed him. And it's no surprise. We've won the majority of our games when Tim English is in the side. So let's just hope he stays injury-free for the rest of the year, because the ceiling with Tim English in the side is way bigger than when he's not. So it's also nice to see the return of Cody Waitman coming back in the last few weeks, because boy have I missed him, because without him we missed a little bit of that energy and that spark and that class, because he's a very talented player and one of the fan favourites and one of my favourites at the footy club, Cody Waitman. So hopefully he has a big second half of the year, and hopefully he stays injury free, because having him, Riley West and Artie Jones is a pretty potent small forward trio, if you don't ask me, on the feet of Aaron Norton and Will Lewis, who Will Lewis, by the way, he's never going to fill the void of what Sam Darcy left, but he's done a pretty good job of being Aaron Norton's sidekick, albeit I would like him to stop flopping for free kicks. Can you please get out? Can you get that out of your game, Will? Because it's a little annoying and a little cringe. But anyways, so yeah, that's the forward line right there for you. So yeah, that's the mid-season review. The Bulldogs are 9-6 after 15 games, and we've got a big second half of the year with a few reasonable fixtures, not too bad to finish the year. And where we sit right now is probably accurate, maybe even overachieving given our terrible percentage and the certain key metrics we're in compared to other sides around us and above us on the ladder. So I would give the season, to give a grade, a B-. It's been up and down, it was really good at the start, then had a really down patch of injuries and form against really good sides. And then the last, month or so has been pretty good, albeit not convincing. So I would say 9-6 with a percentage of 92.8 and 8th on the ladder after 16 rounds or 15 games. I would say it's a B- grade wise. I don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the year. I don't know what we are. Are we a premiership contender or not? I don't think we are personally, but we'll see what happens. And only time will tell where we finish at the end of the home and away season and if we're contending for a premiership or not. Ideally, I want to win a final and not a wild card, like an actual final. So that's the goal for the rest of the year. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. The preview for the Sydney Swans game at the SCG, which I'll be going to, by the way, will be out tomorrow. Subscribe for more Bulldogs content. And as always, go you mighty Bulldogs. See you next time.